Okay, so, Slayer's X.
When I was 16, I designed a computer game in this notebook, and it was awesome. But then, it got lost.
Oh, thank God. I guess
Or was it? I am the X-Slayer.
Okay, Slayer's X: Terminal Aftermath Vengeance of the Slayer is a very difficult game to explain, and I'd like to know how Zane pitched it to a publisher. If you remember, this game's demo made me have a hallucinatory episode because of how unique it is. I promise that isn't gonna happen again. I'm stronger now than I was then. So this game, right? Ah yes, Slayer's X. It's reflective of a very particular time and place, 2 or 3 years at the turn of the century. And if you're between the ages of 30 and 35, I bet you'll vibe with this game, like I do. And by vibe with this game, I mean, it'll remind you of a time when you were a person you hated, a child born of shame and steeped in cringe, listening to your censored Walmart copy of Limp Bizkit's Significant Other. And you have this idea for a really cool game starring a total badass who says cool things while he shoots people with 2 guns.
Your grandparents are turds. Literally.
Imagine you're a child at the end of history and you were raised on PC games like you were way too young to be playing Duke Nukem 3D, and it taught you that women are objects that you can use as currency when the aliens invade so that you can afford steroids and really cool sunglasses or whatever. And then it's 1999 and The Matrix comes out and we're Americans who live in the middle of nowhere, so we haven't seen any John Woo movies yet, so the bullet time and fight scenes rock our balls off. And the trench coats? Oh, the long black trench coats are cool as shit, and hackers. Hacking is like magic, but also the coolest thing ever, and if you're a hacker, you bang Angelina Jolie, or maybe ignore a baby in a heroin-induced stupor until it dies. Just give me something to break. Give me something to break.
It's like a jacket, only it's longer, thicker, and far more badass.
Give me something to break. This game touched me in a way I find difficult to explain, and I'd really like to get into the meat of it, because while you can call this a shooter, and it is also a glorious shitpost, with a deep history tied to Hypnospace Outlaw. Here's Zane's webpage in that game from when he was like 15 years old in the year 1999, and now he made a game, the most badass shooter ever to come out 20 years after it should have. Now I'm gonna say a lot of things about this game that you may not understand, but you gotta roll with it, okay? I'm gonna pretend nobody watched the roundup that this was in, because it turns out that unless you put the name of a game in a video title, people don't even see it, which is why I'm naming this video Bolt Gun. I wasn't sure if people would take the good-natured ribbing about Bolt Gun as intended, because I was on the internet, and plenty of people take a thing at face value, which I should have learned by now. Oh well.
What?
Whoa, Zane. If you keep doing moves like that, I might let you go out with me.
Zane, your hack blood power is growing, but you are not quite ready to yield its full power yet.
Yeah, these cutscenes look, well, awful. Purposefully awful. PlayStation 1 haunted demo disc awful.
What, Shannon? I am supposed to be up for my job at Slopbo's tonight.
Oh god.
Get your butt in here now.
Fine, I will come into work now, bye. I should quit. They don't pay me enough for this crap.
And just like that, I knew I was in love. She's amazing, a perfect representation of the female form and attitude, with her green-tinted hair. Well, no, I'm not sure it's actually green, because everything in this game is tinted green, the color of hacking and power. The color of... Wait, never mind, her name is spelled weird, and she's probably like 16. You know what? Forget all of that.
Have fun flipping burgers, Stephanie. What?
Suddenly, Slayer's headquarters is attacked.
The Psycho Syndicate are blowing up bombs around famous CEO Zane Lofton's apartment. The cops are evacuating everyone in the city of Boise.
Oh, okay, Boise, Idaho, known for their...
I'll go check it out. Stay here. You're not ready.
Shut up, Dad, I am not too weak. I am a strong boy, I am a tough man.
My mom lives in that apartment.
I know, Zane, I've got a key. Also, it says you're a CEO and your mom is in a tiny apartment in Boise?
This just in, psychos blew up Zane's mom when she was driving her car home.
I must revenge her.
Oh god, that green tear. This is art, kids. This game is so badass that you start with dual pistols that have the Slayer's logo on them. And you look down and... I'm gonna hurl.
This is the S-Blade, Mikey Psyche's signature weapon. If the Yielder has 95 or more hack blood, it will become powerful.
Good to know, because in the demo, the whole hack blood thing wasn't really implemented. This room lets me see all the weapons, up to and including the hack blood talisman.
This is the hack blood talisman. It is only used by the most powerful hack blood masters. It is a mystery.
The Psychos invade our Inner Sanctum Hack Blood Dojo place, and so here's what this game is really like, okay?
Eat it, dickweed!
Zane, come on, your mom's dead. You can swear all you want. He doesn't, though. I've talked to Zane over Twitter DMs, and from what he's told me, he's had sex with my mother and somehow still has his wallet. And yes, once again, we are picking up glass shards, which are ammo for the game's shotgun, the Glass Blaster, which I'll get into, but there's a certain charm to this game that you just can't get anywhere else.
Ring, ring, beep. Welcome to the X-Slayer hotline. Leave a message, but if you're a psycho, shove a turd up your bunghole.
You know, it's kind of nice to be able to upload a YouTube video and not have to worry about cursing. I get on this train and the whole thing is giving me Build Engine mod vibes as it crashes into a bunch of psychos, and then we reach the surface.
Zane, the psychos. They found the steel sewer. Our secret base.
Oh yeah?
They know about the hack blood. You must stop them. I give you the S-Blade.
Cool. Thanks, man.
No, it's not cool. It looks like a pain in the ass to use. Imagine trying to chop through someone's carotid when the thing gets stuck on the upper loop of the S. You don't see S-shaped blades anymore because they were removed from existence through natural selection because anybody stupid enough to use them died. Anyway.
Whatever you do, Zane, don't let them get the hack blood talisman.
Yeah?
Go to the steel sewer and get it before they do.
I don't know if they noticed that the sewer count was wrong in the Hexen 2 video, or possibly in the Mount Payne TNT short, so I have to correct it now. But no, because I counted this one in the roundup. The sewer count, once invented as a funny YouTube man counting gag that would never end, now haunts me. To think, God is dead. Mikey dies saying he was Zane's dad, but that's not important. We have action hero stuff to do.
The S-Blade has a hack blood charge. Got you, mother clipper. Whoa! I found a secret.
Yeah, you bet your ass we're in a rat cave.
My people need proof that you really are on the rat side. We need cheese.
Yeah, sure, why not do a side quest? It's not like the hack blood is going anywhere. I don't know that, but we're gonna go with it. Getting cheese is on our way.
Shove that in your turd hole and smoke it.
Kids, do not smoke through your turd hole. You can't do that. However, you can soak a tampon in vodka, and unlike in the demo, these clown heads drop hack blood, which, as we've seen, you can actually use now because this game is finished. You've also already got the Glass Blast and Uncle Frank's Big Dump. No, he's locked up. He's deep down. We gotta go to Sloppo's, where Stephanie works. And from the very beginning, this game has really open level design, and with the setting and tone, I would say that this is closer to Redneck Rampage than Duke Nukem 3D. Don't worry, the weapons are better, the keys are labeled properly, and the scatological humor is intact. Sloppo's is serving turd burgers, diarrhea burgers, pig butthole sausage, fried turd nuggets as opposed to grilled turd nuggets, fries, and a soft drink. So you know how this looks awful and like a weird build engine mod with terrible photo source textures? And you're right, but that's kinda charming, but only because the game plays fine.
Whoa! I found a secret!
That's Zane's truck stop bathroom face. Hey Zane, I'm playing with your balls. Yeah, fuck your ball pit.
Oops. I hope there were only psycho kids playing in there, not normal ones.
Why?
Oh well.
Under that park, I assume, are the souls of children that we've damned to hell by blowing up their playground, so that's cool. That's a nice thing we did. It turns out that this sludge-throwing gun can summon rats that help you out. It's like being able to bring the sewer with you everywhere you go. And no, I'm not turning that into a gag. The sewer count processor would burn out and then it would be gone forever. Is that what you want? Up here, I finally find the prize I'm looking for. Cheese! And I carry this cheese in the rain through a junkyard, but I don't think the rats care.
Thank you, Zane. The rats will repay you for this great deed.
Alright, so if you're keeping score at home, currently we are beloved by the rat faction and vilified by the psychos. It's a good start. A thing to note, many of the rats, including the Rat King, were voiced by friend of the show Gianni Montegrano, because it's an indie FPS game, so he's in it. Isn't that right, Gianni?
Huh? Yeah, but sewer count, it's not worth it.
Yeah, right. That's most of this level, besides going to Zane's mom's apartment. A return trip for old Civvy, if you know what I mean. And it's full of shit. I mean, really, look.
I wish I could hold my nose, but I'm holding weapons. Smells like a ball of turds mixed with sardine buttholes.
I don't know why turds is spelled with an E in this game. Possibly a regional spelling from Idaho. This is a picture of Zane with his mom. I'm guessing Zane got his father's eyes, and I wouldn't actually fuck his mother. Nancy Reagan looking Betty Crocker-esque. Level is over. I'm not even going to bother correcting the spelling here, but I am going to take note of Zane in this intermission because this image tickled my brain into recognition. Like that rush your brain gets when you're dying in a nursing home. God, I'm old. So anyway, we already talked about the next level. It's virtually unchanged from the demo, because you can't improve on perfection. So let's move on. After traversing the secret sewer base, we've made it to Zane's place of employment, Dollar Shaver, not to be confused with Dollar Shave Club, sponsor of this video.
It won't budge.
Mechanically, this game is fine, betraying how the rest of it looks like ass trash from the butt dimension. I mean, come on, look at it. I'm not gonna say it looks good. It's not like New Blood is paying me. The whole level doesn't take place in the dollar store, but it does introduce the villain of this piece, Mevin Ranuels, Zane's stepdad, and his boss at the dollar store. This isn't the first place you see the poop monsters, but it's the first you're seeing them in this video. So here are the poop monsters. In toilets. You gotta get a key to get into the secret area in Mevin's office, which means exploring this whole block of the city. This includes a laundromat full of cackling bomb tossers, a mini golf course, a gas station. And so I paused to take a note about how there's all these different locations, right? And... So this happened because I paused when there was this turd monster hiding behind a trash can, and maybe this is a bug that's been fixed since, but I'm not leaving it out of the video. That's not happening. Boss is waiting for me so we can do a cutscene.
Mevin, what are you doing out here? I thought they evacuated town.
I don't know, Zane. I could ask you the same question. I hope your mom knows you're out past your little bedtime. I would fire you if I wasn't banging her.
Hey, listen man, don't think you're special. We're all banging Zane's mom.
She was blown up by psychos while driving her car!
What? Those idiots! I told them not to, well, gotta run. Bye, sport.
Yeah, okay. There's also an arcade.
I don't have time for X-Slayers don't play. I don't have time for X-Slayers don't. I don't have time for games. Nobody said that X-Slayers couldn't mess with balls.
So this shitpost of a game does feature some working arcade stuff like skee-ball with prizes, because as dedicated as the creator was to his vision of this,
your grandma's a toilet, dummy.
You do have to make the game fun, too, and most of it is. So I gotta grab Mevin's key from this feral psycho prostitute. I promise that this game is actually fun, okay? I think you all know how this game is gonna go, right? It plays fine, and you think it's early in the video to start posting a spoiler tag, but what you're about to see is so vitally important to the story that I refuse to let anyone go further without being warned. We're talking like when Janet Leigh got killed in the shower in Psycho, and you know what? If Hitchcock wasn't a coward, he would have spelled Psycho with a K.
Ew! This is the worst smell I've ever smelled. And I've smelled Mevin's butthole.
Why did you smell? You know what? Never mind. That's not even what this chapter is about. Because we need to talk about the boss of this boss section. You know, for all the shit I'm dealing with, I should just toss this over to AVGN. That's a show that dedicates a lot of time to poop. This show is more about existential terror, suffering, and dick jokes.
Thou hast defeated me, Zane. Thou truly art the final X-Slayer. Now comes a noble warrior's just reward. Take thine wicked dog, Zane, for the glory of the Psycho Syndicate.
Wait, for the glory of the... But aren't they... What? Now back to the gameplay, right? You have to remember... Wait, you're serving Sloppo burgers at your barbecue? Did you purchase fast food to disguise it as your own cooking? No! Focus, Civvy! So, the meat of this game, beyond the extremely distracting visuals and details and the bottomless well of scatological humor, is something akin to a mod for a build engine game made with the tastes and obsessions of a 16-year-old at the turn of the century. But behind that, you have the competent design of someone older, like somebody who's maybe 19 or 20. The details of this game are occasionally hideous, but they have purpose, and the disappointment brought to this child of the 90s, this millennial angst, filtered through Zane, who has a terrible Oedipal complex, which is why he hates his stepdad so much, and also he's mad because he's truly the only person in the world who isn't banging Zane's mom. You hear me, Zane? I'm striking your webpage for harassment, Zane! No, Civvy, goddammit, talk about the game. Talk about the game, talk about the game. But I couldn't. It was like looking into a kaleidoscope of faded memories, the toxic concoctions of an underdeveloped brain addled by violent video games and hundreds of hours spent in front of Simpsons reruns. Are you being sarcastic, dude? I don't even know anymore. Like a teenager might have the idea to make it so you can admire your own reflection in a shiny floor, because Duke Nukem did it in mirrors, but a man would spend time to put that into a game. Yuppie fuck Mevin, right? He's over here playing tennis.
Whoa, sport, hold on there. What are you doing snooping around in my neighborhood? Trying to steal one of my cars? I'm surprised you survived with all the psychos out there.
I'm surprised you survived, since you're so weak and you smoke sticky green all day. My mom should have dumped you when she was still alive.
Oh, you burned him good, Zane. Fucking got him.
Whoa there, hold up, bro. What are you talking about? You're the one taking drugs if you think I'm a Psycho Syndicate gang boss.
I swear to God, these subtitles are in the game. I didn't write these, and my subtitle guy is gonna have a fucking fit.
Anyway, I have to go. And Zane, stay away from my house, if you know what's good for you.
Yeah, no, fuck that. We're going into his basement. I'll bet it's full of drugs and pot. That's probably why it's already on fire. And his pool is filled with turds. Man, Zane's stepdad hates him, and he has a race car bed, and like a lot of bong pipes. And they kidnapped Zane's not-girlfriend, Stephanie.
What is happening to me?
Okay, so she's a dog.
They turned our not-girlfriend into a werewolf with a rocket launcher. As you do.
Rip, my friend, and fellow X-Slayer. We probably would have gone out if you weren't turned into a werewolf.
Okay, but hear me out. If she's a werewolf, doesn't that mean that she spends most of her time in human form? There's only a full moon like once a month, right?
Zane.
Mikey? Is that you?
Yes. There's no time to waste. The Psycho Syndicate has hidden the Hackblood Talisman, the most powerful Hackblood weapon in the world, inside this computer.
Oh, well then all you gotta do is just take a drill, go right into the side of that sucker. No, not really, because we are instead treated to a totally radical VR section where we are in the game.
This place. It looks just like a level from my favorite game, Cataclysm.
Yes, I coded it just for you. I knew you would know what to do. Now go.
I don't know what to do, except I need to open all these wall cracks with explosives I don't have because the game took away all my weapons. And then I get the talisman and I become an elite Hackblood master.
The X-Blade has a Hackblood charge.
The secondary makes you fly. I don't know how to master this yet, so the whole separate secret area of this level was basically inaccessible to me, but not to you kids. You can do it. I believe in your elite hacker skills. Hack the planet!
Zane, I have helped you on your journey, but my spirit must depart. You are the final X-Slayer. You are the only one strong enough to defeat the Psychos. Now go to the Boise Potato Festival.
So aside from the tanky werewolf girls with rocket launchers, this is my favorite level of the game. It really distills everything this game is trying to do into one glorious package. The high-effort shitposting congeals into something you can, in all seriousness and without any embarrassment, call a video game. It lives up to the promise of jumping through a window and icing some fool with 2 pistols, or me falling into green Hackblood pits or whatever, and then the game takes some health away, but doesn't kill you, which is such a strange modern invention that I noticed Bolt Gun does too. Stay tuned for the Bolt Gun video unless that came out first. I don't know, I was working on this one first because I got to play Slayers X first. You use a 3-barreled rocket launcher to crash this party in this trailer. You take a look in the mirror and—
I'm awesome. Sexy both on and offline.
You really get a sense of what this game is going for here, and it's great. It's still wrapped in,
You smell like turds. Well, not anymore, 'cause you're dead.
Hey, look at that, the subtitles did the correct version of "your." I should submit that as a bug report. And these ship things that the Psychos drop in, well, you can blow those up as soon as they land, and it looks so 90s. And one of the more gratuitous explosions in this game— yeah. We've almost reached the Boise Potato Festival, and this road sign here says we've got 15 miles to go, but only 1 mile if I want to go to your mom's house. Obviously that's where we're going, but the game pulls the wrong side of the tracks on me. I guess your mom will have to remain unsatisfied. I am angry because of how much better the second half of this game is. The game itself is only about 4 hours long, but the depth of it, kids. Oh, when I told you about spoilers earlier, you think I meant that Zane's not girlfriend dies, or you master the power of Hackblood, but no, it's all about the journey into your butthole. Never let it be said that this game held anything back, that there was anything left on the cutting room floor. That's not even the only functional ride here. Jesus Christ. My favorite ride is the 30-something video game designer's regrets hidden deep in a secret so Zane won't see it.
Life tip from Adam Chase. Never promise to help a high school friend that you will finish the stupid Cataclysm mod you started together at 16. He will not forget, and you will regret it.
And in some of the most brilliant foreshadowing I've ever seen in a game, no, not just in a game, but in fiction. Fall down the pit to respawn, or don't, the final boss sucks because I gave up. The only thing that keeps this level from being my favorite is falling off the side of the mountain and having to go all the way up it again, and having to travel through a poop chute. And at the end of this, I can see the exit. We're hot on Mevin's tail. We're almost ready to show him some Slayer's justice, if you know what I mean. Do you? Because I don't. Anyway, the Earth tears apart from under us, and we are subjected to... Crevasse of Repugnant? Crevasse of Repugnant? Even with my Hackblood powers, this proves challenging to ascend. And even more challenging to get into this one secret here, because this isn't a game with good platforming mechanics. I mean, it isn't, and it isn't meant to be, but I still can't get into this hole. Not like Mevin, who got into Zane's mom's hole, and I asked him, man, I asked him on Twitter, because he doesn't break kayfabe, right? And I found that extremely discourteous. I laughed when I killed your girlfriend, Zane.
That's cool. We stopped going out IRL, just friends. I laugh when I killed Kevin Daniels because he was my mom's BF and he sucked. I mean Mevin Raniels.
How much did your mom like him? On a scale from allowing simple penetration to sacrificing her ass virginity.
He was rich, so she liked him a lot at first, and then she dumped him after he kept cheating.
So the butthole is safe, untainted, tight as a snare drum?
That's messed up. You're more twisted than I gave you credit for. Tighter than your mom's butthole, probably.
Yeah, well, getting stuff into prison is tricky business. Speaking of his stepdad, he's the final boss, and he gave me a bad time. With his bouncy-ass highway section, where he has two phases, the first being piss easy and the second being somewhat confusing, because I wasn't sure that you didn't have to, like, wait for him to destroy more things with his giant head. Man, I knew from Dare that weed did terrible things to a person, but this is outrageous. You're supposed to just shoot at him until he dies, but his second phase is a lot more lethal than his first.
Zane, you mad? I am the X-Slayer. You were always ugly, but now you look like an old leather bike seat somebody peed on and left out in the sun. Looks like the Dollar Shaver just got a new manager.
Oh, Mevin. I would be disappointed about this if you weren't such a sucky, stupid, pervert boss. You were weak, and you smelled like turds and rotten fish. No matter. Now the real games begin. Watch out, Zane. Something is coming. From somewhere you least expect it. I am the Z-Slayer.
Oh my god!
To make it so the Psycho Syndicate never returns, I am now training students to be X-Slayers. Enroll now in the X-Slayer Training School at the Secret Training Dojo today. Or else.
Or else what? How can I find it if it's a secret? I have so many questions. What is Hackblood? Can I synthesize it? What if you mixed Hackblood with turds? Would they react violently? Is Hackblood like the Force? And if it is, does that mean that Stephanie can come back as a Hackblood ghost like Mikey did? Can Hackblood ghosts fight? Was that toilet I fought made of porcelain or like a stronger military-grade porcelain that was designed by the military for clandestine use, like they were gonna use our own shitters against us? What happens if the werewolf virus expands outside of Boise? Why Boise? Don't like 5 people live in Boise? Isn't that like not enough to hold a whole damn potato festival?